Welcome back to Media Made Me here on the Brazilian Dragon podcast. I am Felipe, and today I am with one of my favorite comics. He's also one of the kindest comics out there in the Los Angeles scene. It is Mr. Lonnie Dangerous. Lonnie, how are you doing today?
Hola, buddy. I'm Lonnie Dangerous. I'm doing great. I'm a rapper, actor, comedian in Hollywood, and Felipe is also one of my favorite comedians in the whole world. That's really the reason why I'm here, because if he tells me to jump in a can, I'll jump in a can.
No, if I told you to jump off a bridge, please don't do it.
Would you tell me to jump off a
No,
bridge?
because I need Lonnie
Okay.
Dangerous in my life.
So
But
then I don't have to worry about that. You see, I can trust you.
perfect.
All right.
Lonnie, so you're a rapper, actor, comedian, very creative man. And you live here in Los Angeles. We met as the Heidi's Hoes in Heidi
Heidi's
Langfield's
hose.
class. Go check out her stand-up. But also, Lonnie, tell us a little bit about you before we jump into like how media shaped your life. Like tell us a little bit about like your story.
My name is Lonnie. Again, I was born in Philadelphia. As a child, my dad traveled all over the United States, so I don't really have like a. Besides Philly, I've been in every state, maybe only like two that I haven't been in, but I lived in Alaska as a child for a long time also. And I had when I was younger, I had a girlfriend who we were falling in love, and she caught cancer and passed away. And at that moment, um, I thought to myself that I didn't want to live a life of just regular life. I wanted to live the life of my dreams. And then I just decided that I would go to LA, and I was already rapping, but I also wanted to be an actor and I wanted to be a comedian. So I thought I would try to pursue them full time. And it's just been a dream of my life.
I didn't know that part about your story. My condolences. I know it's
No,
like
no problem. It was a long time
thank you
ago.
for sharing. But yeah, I'm so glad you moved to LA because we got to meet, we got to become homies.
Yes.
So obviously you're out here doing your thing, living the
Yes.
dream, pursuing the dreams. What was your first interaction with media that you remember that you were like, oh, I love this stuff, whether it's music, a movie, a TV show, a stand-up special? Like, what's the earliest one that you were like, this is what I would love to do?
What's funny is that when I was little, like I said, traveling around, the thing that really got me was the movie theaters. Because when I was a little kid, you would go into the movie theater and it would have this smell. It's like popcorn and candy. And then it had like this sticky, dirty floor. And even the chairs were kind of weird. And no matter where I went, that was consistent. No matter where you go, there's popcorn, you be sitting down, and it's a group thing, but it's also an isolated thing too. So you're watching a movie with your family, but you're also doing it by yourself too. So I just fell in love with the movies and everything that was up there, and it just seemed so surreal. So I always thought that that would be something I would love to do, to be in movies. So that was the first time, I think.
Love it. Do you have any specific movie that you remember like being one of your first movie theater experiences?
It's so funny because I was watching a TikTok this morning, and in my head, I think it's a Disney Sound of the South. When I was a little kid, and I don't know why it stuck in my head, but as a little kid, Brer Rabbit and all that whole scene, and I was watching on TikTok why they removed it, and I don't think it really panned on me on how racist it was at the time, but that part of the movie as a kid, I loved it. You know what I mean? He's dancing, he's singing, he's having a great time.
See,
There's
I've
a
never seen
bluebird
that
on your
full
shoulder.
movie because it's probably been banned like for so many years. Like it's super racist. That's why they're changing the rides and everything.
Yeah.
But I've never seen like I've only seen clips that they would have in like the Disney sing-along songs, like for Zippity Doo Dah. But
Yeah, that
like
was one of my
I've
favorite
always
songs in the
been
whole world.
I've always
I
been
could give you I could sing it by ear right now. But what I was thinking was when they were showing the TikTok today, it was a black guy who was explaining how he wasn't explaining, he was just showing you how problematic it was now looking at it. And I remember my parents took me to it, and it was such an exciting thing. And I was dancing afterward. And there's a whole thing about tar babies and the whole thing, and it's a weird experience because it's something that made me fall in love with the movies. And now that I'm an adult, like, what the hell did I fall in love with?
yeah. Lonnie's first experience with loving movies was a racist movie.
At least I'm being honest. I'm keeping it real with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was the first thing that I knew. Zippity doo da. It just, and when I was watching it today, I was like, oh my God. Because he's like, I was a kid, so I couldn't understand racism or stuff like that. So it was just a good time. But when they're explaining today, Brer Rabbit was a slave who was trying to free himself. And they were telling him, if you do that, you'll get in trouble. You should just stay here and be happy. And then it shows later on, they show Brer Rabbit being lynched. And I'm like, I never seen that.
See, I don't know the story from the ride Splash Mountain, but and then like I knew of the story. Like I said, I only saw the clips and the sing-along songs, but like I know this movie is abhorrently racist, and is apparently banned in the United States, right? These days, like it will never hit Disney Plus. But Lonnie,
and I really love that movie, so I won't even ever get to see it again. You know what I mean? It's not something
Lonnie, you could probably bootleg it if you really tried hard enough.
You think I should ask black people to see if I can get that? You guys got the bootleg of Sound of Music?
You should talk. You should bring this up in your stand-up set. Be like,
I am thinking about it. I've been thinking.
Incorporate it. I think there's a lot of funny stuff there. You have some really funny jokes about your black identity and growing up in Alaska and what it was like to be black in Alaska.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm working on a new set right now, and then one of them is about how it's so weird that people, like, if I say I'm from Alaska, that's a weird thing. You know what I mean? As if only Santa Claus, Eskimos, and crazy white people could live there. You know what I mean? Like, someone has to make those toys. The elves are not working for those wages anymore. I'm like, Sprinkles, you got my hammer?
This is Lonnie Dangerous, everyone. If you're at Baltimore, coming up, Lonnie Dangerous will be there.
Tuesday, the 30th, June 30th.
Well, this also might release after because I want to get all the episodes together. That's okay.
They can say that I did promote it. I promoted it.
Yes.
June 30th at the Lou Room in Baltimore. Sold out show, first one. Second one's close to being sold out, so everyone get the tickets as you can.
So excited for my guy Lonnie Dangerous traveling as a comedian.
Yeah,
this is what dreams are made of.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited that I got to share it with you.
Yes, I wish I could pack up in your suitcase.
Do you want to?
I would try, but I'm too chunky.
I'll move my shirts to the side a little bit. You gotta keep down like this.
You don't need as many hats as you're packing.
No, not on this head.
Yeah. So growing up, like, did you have any favorite, like, when you were a little kid, besides Song of the South, were there any like early like cartoons or like movies that like you really loved, like as a kid, that you were like, oh, this is so cool, like storytelling is super cool and imaginative and fun? I know you're probably drawn to comedies, but like any dramas that like ripped your heart out that like little Lonnie was crying over?
I told you that my two favorite movies, well, I know that we talked before and I know that you love anime, but I told you that my two favorite movies in the whole world are Prince of Egypt and what's the other one? Prince of Egypt, and then there's one more that's just like that one. What is it called?
El Dorado.
No, Prince of Egypt and
Aladdin.
That one's about Prince of Egypt, about Moses, and then the other one is about I can't remember, but both of them are heart wrenching. Very no, I had it at the top. The Lion King. The Lion King.
I thought you were gonna say VeggieTales. Because I was like,
close,
there's some religious aspects.
This close. And I love the
you grew up religious, right? So that's you grew up religious, right? So I was like, oh, maybe it's the religious animated movies that he loves.
You know what? I was raised religious, but my parents were heathen, so it's weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, anyways, you were saying The Lion King and The Prince of Egypt.
Yeah, because those aren't comedy ones; they're very heart-wrenching ones. You know what I mean? The Prince of Egypt, Moses, and like that was a sad story. And then The Lion King, Mufasa and his dad, and the whole Scar thing was just too much. But it's like right here. If you play it right now, I'll sit up and I'll watch it. I know that they're plays, but I don't want to watch the plays because I don't want them to ruin the great image that I have in my head of these two epic films.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you like these movies that mix music and storytelling? Because as a musician as well, like, I mean, the Lion King soundtrack goes real hard. Prince of Egypt also has a great soundtrack. The Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey song in the credits. Ooh, baby.
You know, I really do. It's weird, but thought that I don't like musicals. I thought because, it just seems weird. Like if me and you're having a conversation like, hey, Felipe, what are you doing? I don't think that that's like real life. You know what I mean? So I feel like weird. And then I realized that through my life, there's so many musicals that I love, like Breaking. I mean, you could go the list. They just don't seem like musicals when I'm watching them. But then I realized that people are dancing and moving around in them, so they are musicals. So I do. I I do love musicals. It just takes a certain kind of musical. But I grew up with sisters, so there's so many that could drive me crazy. Like Mamma Mia, like that we used to play so many times in my household that I just wanted to like here, just one more time. If you do it one more time.
Yeah. So what TV shows did you watch growing up that you absolutely adored that like were very important to Lonnie Dangerous or
the TV was my babysitter, so I think that and I thought that would give me an edge in rapping, acting, and comedy that I think I put in a lot of hours on TV. So they're like 90210, Martin. I mean, the vast majority. My mom used to be into Dallas and Knots Landing and stuff like that. Matlock. I just been starting watching Matlock again. So like I love like a whole wide range of like all type, as long as it's dope. Because even Temptation Island, I gave it a chance the other day just to see if it was gonna be good. I feel like you have to watch something 2 times. After 2 times, if it's not good, then it's not good. But you at least have to give it 2 shots. You know what I mean?
For me, a TV show, I generally like to give it at least 4 or 5 episodes to really give it a chance.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like the first couple episodes of the show finding itself, but then if you can get to but now a lot of these TV seasons are like 8 episodes anyway, so then you just have to I usually power through if I'm not enjoying it even after.
It's weird because this seems like when you really start liking them, those are the ones that end really quickly, and then the ones that you don't like, they last for like 8,000 years. I saw 1886 the other day. Have you heard of that?
Is that the Yellowstone show?
Yeah, the prequel.
Okay, with Harrison Ford? Or is that the other prequel?
What's Toby Keith? Is that his name? Toby Keith? Toby?
1883?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's in this? Sam Elliott?
Yeah, Sam Elliott.
Tim McGraw, Faith Hill.
Tim McGraw, that's
singers?
His name. Tim McGraw.
Oh, now they're acting?
There's a lot of stars in it.
These are a lot. Wait. Oh, aren't they Tim McGraw and Faith Hill? Aren't they like singers?
Yeah, he's a country western singer. Oh, she's in it too. Oh yeah, she is in it. See, there's so many stars. Well, they're country, so the whole show's about country and the beginning of America, so it fits with their whole musical style. It's a good show, and I'm anti-cowboy. I vote for the Indian all the time, but how about you? You got any shows that you like?
I just watched Black Mirror last night.
I haven't seen it yet. People said it's one of the best shows ever. What do you think?
I like Black Mirror. I like some episodes are really transcendent, but then there's like a lot of episodes that like aren't as good. And so I feel like the peak that like since every episode is different, it's like an anthology series. I think like people like really hype up the really great episodes that are tremendous, but then like it's like some of the episodes that are weaker are not that great. Like they're just like fine. So I think they're like elevated by the really great episodes. And then I think there's like, even if you don't watch the whole show, if you're not like a nerd like me that likes to complete everything that you start, there are definitely some episodes I would highly recommend for sure.
I want to watch it. I might check it out.
Yeah. The first episode is a very like, so the first episode is one that either like gets people hooked on the show or they like are like absolutely not. It's about how this like terrorist organization wants the prime minister in the UK. Like they will kill a couple of hostages they have unless he has sex with a pig on camera.
Damn.
So, yeah,
Does he have sex with the pig on camera?
Do you want the spoilers?
I'm scared.
Do you want the spoilers?
No, let me watch.
Okay.
Will he?
Because like the whole episode is them trying to like figure out a way that he doesn't have to do it. So then it's like about technology, a lot of them.
And what do you mean by have sex with it? Like sex in the butt of the pig?
Yep.
Isn't that abuse to the pig?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't consent to it.
I think it would be, but this is the only way that they can save the princess or whoever.
Yeah, so
Like,
there's no way that they're gonna have a pig raping on TV. I just feel I don't know if I am right or not. But
well,
I feel
then
there's
and they
no
don't
way.
actually do it on the show itself. Like they have like animal safety laws that they couldn't
No, I
have.
mean they wouldn't even. I don't think that we're at that stage in our society that we'd be okay with an assumed pig raping. Like if I told you I got on top of a pig last night and I raped it, you couldn't put that on TV. I'm thinking, but we'll see. I'll watch
that's
it.
what I was watching. Also, Jet Lag the Game. Highly recommended if you like.
Jet Lag the Game.
It's a YouTube show where these guys they like play a different board game using like international travel as like their board. Like there's like tag season where they're like on trains and they're playing tag across Europe.
On the train?
Yeah. They're literally like
touch
filming
you,
themselves.
You're it tag?
Yeah. Like so
and
one of them
run
is
down
running
the train and then he
and
runs
then
down
they
the
like
train and someone else chases him down the train.
well they have a head start. So then it's like they're trying to get to this destination. They're trying to catch up to them using like the train system.
I'll check it out. Jet Lag the Game.
Yeah. Have you seen Spider-Verse yet, Lonnie?
I think so.
The new one?
I think I gave up on all the Spider-Mans.
No, this one's with Miles Morales. You gotta check it out, Lonnie.
Oh, okay.
It's the one that's in my stand-up joke.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like that's the only time. Sometimes I feel like you let me into the cool group, and then sometimes I feel like I'm just left out of the cool group.
Lonnie,
you know
you're
what I mean?
Lonnie Dangerous.
I know, but I mean, I'm still like black. You know what I mean? I can't catch up with everything. You know what I mean? I try, but I can't.
This is the Black Spider-Man.
I see. Okay. Now I did see the beginning of that. Is that the animated one?
Yes, and then the sequel that's out now in theaters that's doing phenomenally in the box office.
So now I'm gonna go to the movie theaters today. So maybe I'll go today and see that.
You gotta watch it. You will.
Spider-Verse. See, now I tried to see
like
the one
anime,
earlier.
like if you love animation, like they do such a cool thing. Like this is such a visual piece of art as well as just like an incredible story. I think you will love this one, Lonnie.
When I seen the one on TV of him as the Black Spider-Man, I seen it in passing and I stopped and I wanted to see more, but I didn't know which one it was and I couldn't find out about it. So I would love to see that.
The animated Spider-Verse movies are the ones with Miles Morales, and that's the one, especially if you like care about like Black superheroes representation. He's also Afro-Latino, so he's representing both of us.
Afro-Latino is what I really want to be. You know what I mean?
You have this phenomenal joke that you like to open up. Can I say it to the listeners?
Of course you can.
It's the one that you're Magic Johnson's other son.
No,
Are you a basketball kid growing up, or did you just like embrace that because people kept saying you look like Magic Johnson's son?
No, I think that everywhere I went, everyone kept saying that, hey, you look like Magic Johnson. Hey, you look like Magic Johnson. And then after a while, like, fuck it. Yeah. I'm Magic Johnson. Because I can't say I'm Magic Johnson's son because he has a son. But, I'm the other son. You know what I mean?
Did you grow up watching basketball? Are you a basketball fan? Are you a sports fan at all?
I'm a Kobe fan, but Kobe passed away. So I'm kind of a Laker fan, still like a LeBron, but I'm not like into sports, you know what I mean? I'm boycotting I don't know if this will get me in trouble, but I'm boycotting the NFL until they bring Cat back, and I don't think they'll ever bring Cat back, so I'm just gonna stay over here.
Honestly, it's just like a very homoerotic sport, if you ask me. Football,
okay,
it's very
I don't want to say it. Also, it's a slavery too, because it's like black guys killing themselves. It's Mandingo fights right there in front of us, and I feel weird about it, but
yeah, no, I like some sports, but I'm into the weird sports. Like I love gymnastics. I think it's so cool just watching people flip around during the Olympics.
Okay.
I like
volleyball. Like gymnast.
You're a gymnast.
What's the other one? Huh?
You're a gymnast?
No, I said I do like gymnasts. What was the other sport you said?
Volleyball is fun to watch.
Oh, I do love volleyball. Growing up, that was my favorite sport of
it's
all
so much
sports.
fun to play. Also, I wish they had like rec courts here, like in a park or something where you could just
I agree to that. And the girls always seem to be the most muscular in volleyball. Like I don't know why, but beach volleyball, I would love to like be on the beach and play volleyball. That would be nice.
Let's do it, Lonnie. Let's get the comedy squad. Let's get
that.
Pastor Bill out there.
Pastor Bill, Dahlia,
Heidi.
Heidi ho. When I went to the 5 o'clock open mic, I told everyone, "Hi, I'm Lonnie. I'm Heidi's ho. I'm the bottom bitch." And then it was okay. It only
Heidi was
works
our
if
comedy
Heidi's
instructor
there.
for those that are
Oh
kind of
yeah,
confused.
sorry.
No. I'm just I'm letting the audience
Also, I
in.
wanted to say this, that I want this out there on the record, that I went to the class with Felipe the first time, and then they were going to do this class the second time, and only went back to do the second class because of Heidi, Felipe, and Dahlia. They are
Pastor
the
Bill.
best. They made me no. I'm just kidding. No, but I really I needed that type of environment around me for a while just to feel comfortable. So I appreciate me working with you guys.
So I've been only doing stand up for just a little over 6 months now. And I love the flappers scene specifically because I feel like it's a very collaborative and diverse group of comics.
Yes.
I've met so many cool people like you, Dahlia, who's going to be on this podcast as well, Heidi, Sean, Pastor Bill, like Bob, Darius, like so many great people. Allie, oh my God, I miss Allie.
Allie, I thought you guys were like close.
We are. We just haven't.
Well, tell her I said hello. I think she's so beautiful. She's like this, but she's so beautiful. She's like Thumbelina. I think she's the hottest Thumbelina I ever seen in my whole life. And she's doing hip hop dancing. You know what I mean? It's cool to see like a hip hop dancing in a body like this tall. And I just want to put her in my pocket. Oh, you little thing.
She's hilarious too. Have you heard about her stepstool, Bertha?
Yes, and that's hilarious too. And my mom is one of those. I think my mom's 5'1", so that's what I'm used to, and my sister too. So I love little ladies. They're the best in the whole world.
So you grew up in a household full of like strong women. You've talked about in your comedy classes with me. How did their media perspectives shape you? Because I know, like for me at least, like some of like my culture was brought through my parents, and like that's also part of what shapes me. So even like in the media that I consumed, like the Brazilian media that like shaped my personality, how did like the content that you grew up with, like the people in your household, shape you as the human that you are today and your personality?
One, I think that I am a feminist. I think that I'm pro-woman, but I could be wrong because I have had some lesbians tell me that I'm a male chauvinist pig. So I will own that and I will work on it. But I feel that I grew up around women, so I love women. I love spending time with women. I love sitting and talking with them. It doesn't really have to be sexual. A lot of my best friends are women too. Like I feel like I'm a lesbian trapped in a woman's body. I keep the toilet seat down all the time. That's just who I am. Like I said, I don't like. A lot of my friends are lesbians. I don't like going to I don't like all that man rah 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 rah. I'm more like even when
Lonnie
I was
Dangerous
younger.
is a sensitive boy. He likes being in touch with his emotions, and I feel like
he doesn't speak on it, girl. Speak on it.
He doesn't align with my perception of toxic masculinity. He's very like he doesn't subscribe to all that, like men have to be this, man can't show emotion,
I don't. I really hate that we have to be put in those roles because I feel that I'm in touch with my feminine side, and I don't like anyone telling me what it takes for me to be a man. I cry, I have issues, I stumble, I'm very emotional, but I'm just as bad as everybody else. And first of all, why is men strong and women weak? Women are having babies. I can't have a baby. It's not gonna come out of my butthole. And if it was, I would never have a baby ever again. That would be the last baby we ever have. Okay.
Yeah. No.
When they say you have to have balls, like you have to have balls. Like a vagina takes a beating. You know what I mean? It's bleeding. It gets up. It comes back. It comes back stronger.
Women are stronger than men. That's my take too. Like. They also have to like deal with like so much more than men do. Like they already like disadvantaged society, like in society they have to fight so much more, and they like continue to like prove their resilience. Like, listen, we're two men talking about women's issues here.
Is that crazy? No,
this
needs to be that needs to be something that we as men need to speak out for women. And I do feel that like even in comedy, like if I have in all my art, if there's a space and there's women there, I try to give them more space in that place because I feel that they deserve respect. Also, they're my equals, so there should be no problems at all. You know what I mean? That's why I went to Heidi, because I feel that Heidi is just as, if not, she's really better than a lot of these men instructors.
Oh my God. So Heidi, Open mics can be wild places. There was a guy at an open mic this week who wrote an original song about
I
called
heard this.
Lonnie, you know who it is. He wrote a song about a woman's flow. So
See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
and Heidi ripped him apart afterwards, and I was so happy.
On stage or after?
Yeah, so Heidi was after him. So I was like, okay, perfect. So that's like why we need to Heidi's goal is to include more women in these open mics. It's so cool seeing like different personalities on these stages because like Lonnie can talk about what his experience being a black man in America is. I can talk about my experiences being Latino, and like women can talk about being women. Dahlia, I love Dahlia's sets because they're non-binary, so they can talk about that type of stuff. So like everyone's story is different. Like their vulnerabilities on stage is why they are allowed to, like, they're sharing these pieces of them with you, and allowing you to laugh with them.
Agreed.
And
I think that since I've been
story.
here, there's a lot of men. It's a lot of white men and comedy and movies and music. There's just a lot of white men in power, and it's not that they're bad people, but I'm only getting the perspective of the white heterosexual male, and I would like to be influenced by a diversity of voices.
Which is why I love Sean and Heidi's room, the open mic on Wednesdays, and I'm gonna miss Sean's presence. And also, I'm like, what's life gonna be like when Heidi and Sean are both gone for a few months before Heidi comes back from vacation? Because they are very inclusive. Like Heidi is a queer woman. Sean is biracial. He's Black and Vietnamese, and like it's a very diverse room. Like even the like white men like are very like welcoming. Like I feel like the people that I would not be friends with outside of this comedy scene, like they're all super welcoming. Even like the people who are like kind of people I would never associate myself in real life with.
Are you about to tell me who those are? Are you going to tell me who those are?
I'll tell you offline. Like I probably will never hang out with some of these people outside of this scene, but I don't feel uncomfortable being myself in this room. Whereas there's other open mics, especially like I've heard stories from my stand-up friends who are women and non-binary. Like there are some toxic stand-up open mic sets where like it's just all this misogyny and transphobia.
It bothers me as a heterosexual man.
Yeah, but also like racism too. Like
they have to tell you, please don't do rape jokes. Why do we have to tell you?
Why do we have to announce this at Dow every week? Like that's why I think these spaces need to be more inclusive, and that's like also what I would like to do with any like power that I have in this industry is like create spaces and create dialogue for people to feel more comfortable in these environments so that people can show off their crafts. Like when I moved out here, there's still a lot of things that like I don't even know where I want to go with this industry, whether it's like movies, TV shows, like, but I do want to use whatever platform I have to like advocate for diversity and like different stories being like elevated. And that's why I like doing this podcast, is like hearing all these different people. Like we're going to talk to all these different types of guests, not just like diverse in terms of like race, gender, sexuality, but also like diverse in interests. Like Lonnie's in the music and stand-up scene and like acting, whereas like someone else I talked to on the series, Latanya, she's a podcaster and a content creator in terms of like movie and TV criticism and like cultivation and like recaps, versus like my friends Deja and Divey, they do YouTube stuff, YouTube content creation, and like Dahlia is also stand up and like, but also works in content creation. So we're gonna have lots of different perspectives on this series. Lonnie,
and don't forget about you, because you're a beautiful person, and that's why we all come, because you're such a beautiful guy and you give off such a great vibe, positive and loving. Even when you're going through stuff, you still take time to be positive and loving to other people. So that's why I fucks with you. Lonnie. Wherever you go, I'm going with you.
Take me out to dinner and treat me to these kind words. Tell me about the figure behind you, the Lonnie Dangerous original, but like, who's this critter behind you in this poster? Tell us about them.
Okay, so when I was a little kid, I don't know if they're dreams or daydreams, but I had these visions of me being here in Hollywood, doing auditions, going to acting. I seen myself living this life. So when I started to do, like I said, when I wanted to live the life of my dreams, I thought I wanted to synergize those two. So that the little boy who used to dream about it gets to look at the guy who now is doing it. So it's really the two of us working together. And I hope that as
Is
far
there a
as
way
I
you can
go,
move your
that
camera so we can see the full poster? Because we only see it cut up a little bit.
how about that?
Love it. That's Lonnie
It's
Dangerous,
the name of my
everyone.
album. He's the character on all my albums. Lonnie Dangerous, the ambitions as a writer. There's part 1, part 2, part 3. But I always want to have him in me forever. No matter how old I grow, I always want to be a kid at heart. And I always want to remember that this isn't by chance. This is my destiny, and this is what I was meant to do. So
Yeah, no, this is something that I've been thinking a lot about. Like, this is, I think, why we connect, is because we both like kind of identify as like big boys, like kids that like are in adult form. Like, I have been working on this concept called boy adulting, where I feel like I'm a little boy who's going through life as an adult, like, and just like having fun. And that's why I think we connect, because we both like still like embrace our inner childhood a lot of times, and like let him be free. But as a musician, can I ask like what your early experiences with music were? Who are some of your music influences? Like, what do you love about music that's different? Because this is something I can't relate to. I'm not a musician, so I want to know like why that form of storytelling is so powerful and why you're so drawn to it. And like then like who are some of your favorites as well?
all right. First,
Besides Faith
I'm
Hill and
from
Tim McGraw.
I love 18C. I can't quit you. No, just first, I'm from Chester, Pennsylvania. It's like right outside of Philadelphia, but it experienced white flight when I was maybe even before I was there. There was World War II. It was a place where they made all the war stuff, but then after the war was over, all the white people left it, and it became like it's like a black reservation, if I can say it. So where I'm from, there's only one high school, and there's 2 electives, and the electives are for boys, it's auto, so you go to a garage and you work on cars, and for girls, it's home ec, and you go into a kitchen and you work on food. So being a rapper in music was the only way that I could be expressive as an artist in that environment. And also that if you could learn how to speak well in those environments, if you're smart with Alec or you have quick comebacks, and that's what I used to do. Like if you say something about my mama, I would get on your mama for really good. So you put those two together, and the music around there, that's one thing that black people in those reservations, it's like drugs. Like when you have like a bad day, you can put on music and you can transform yourself to somewhere else. So that's something that is prevalent. You know what I mean? Like, and I didn't realize that it's prevalent, but not everyone was doing it. Everyone listens to it, everyone enjoys it, but not everyone can do it. Mm-hmm. So when I started learning about it, I started getting good, and all my friends were like, oh, I started making songs. And when I started making songs and listen to them, they would give them out to my other friends, like, listen to this, listen. They would listen to it and they would play it. And I go places and go on parties, my songs would be playing in the parties. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah. So I was like such a big deal. So as I got better, I would write songs. People would take the lyrics of the songs I wrote and they would tattoo them on their bodies. And that's when I like, oh, this is like something totally different than other things that I've ever done. And I was really writing this stuff about the problems I was having in my own personal life. You know what I mean? My abused household, being poor, all these things. And my friends could relate to it. So it was like kind of like I could be a diary, but other people could relate. So now we're getting this music that is kind of like feeding each other. So that kind of made me feel good because now I had like a family. Even though I had a broken home, the music gave me a family. You know what I mean? People would ask me, hey, could you come over here and do the song I want to hear you do this song. So then I would do this song for this person, or I want you to come over here and write a song for this. So everywhere I go, people would ask me to do my voice and pick the music. So I thought, hey, this is something. So I felt like, just like a guy who sells candy, I became like someone who distributes candy to the people. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's where I got that from.
I love that. So you started doing music before you did comedy, right? I mean, you were always probably a jokester. Knowing you were probably like a class clown. But like, was this your first like form of like creativity, like for the other people as opposed to just yourself? Like, was this your first experience? Music, making music. Like
at first I started doing poetry, right? Like
poetry.
Poems.
Okay, cool.
And then you write poems for girls and like stuff like that. But also I was a dancer.
Oh,
I was a
what kind of
dancer and a
dance?
singer. Rap groups at that time, first of all, it was breaking, but rap groups needed dancers. So I couldn't rap. So they would get little kids like my size, some little now, but it was even cuter, a little guy who could dance. But oh no, wait. My sister said I looked like Gary Coleman. So and so I would go around all the time going, "What you talking about, Willis?" And that was and that was my thing. No matter where we go, like, "What you talking about, Willis?" And people would love that. So I would constantly be imitating Gary Coleman and doing his dances. So I always think since I was born, my parents used to party. So since I was born,
So you were always a performer.
from day one, when I was little, they had parties. They would wake me up in the middle of the night and tell them to come out and dance in front of their friends. Like, come on, show them the dances you got. Show them the dances. So I would get, you know what I mean? Like, I was excited about it.
So with the music, do you write about the same stuff that you do comedy, or do you try to keep those two forms of art separate, like, and have different things that you write about, because they are different types of art form that, like, they're both
Felipe,
very personal.
You really asked the good questions. Really, those seriously. Because that's a good question. Between me and you, when I first came here as a rapper, I was funny, but I wasn't a comedian. And as a rapper and being the funny guy, people would invite me to go places because I was funny. So then I just started telling people I was a comedian. So then they started taking me places. But while I was a rapper, I had a producer and we were talking about how I was going to be able to do comedy, because I was afraid, because I felt that music and hip hop, you have to be serious. You can't be, they don't like all that jokester stuff. So you have to be serious. So I didn't want anyone taking my rapping as a joke, but I wanted to be a comedian too. So I had to work a lot of almost like 3 or 4.
Lonnie, where'd you go? So Lonnie's internet cut out. So we're just going to keep chugging along for a little bit. I'm just going to send him a text. Where'd you go? Device is not connected. Okay. Lonnie, where'd you go?
I don't know. That's what I was like. What? I was in the middle of talking and it just kicked me out.
I didn't kick you out.
No, something kicked me out. So I can't. It said you're out. You want to come back in? All right. No, but I was saying that it took me a long time to try to get to the point of being a comedian, because I was so focused on being a serious hip hop artist. And I thought being funny was just something I do for me and my close friends. I didn't know how I could be a serious rap artist and a comedian at the same time. And even now, I think I struggle with it, but I feel like I'm just being myself. So I don't have to worry about it if I'm just being myself.
Yeah, your authenticity is one of your biggest superpowers. Like, you are someone in my life that I really appreciate how true to yourself you are. That's like actually something I really appreciate about a lot of the comics that we've met through Heidi's house and like the other classes and open mics, is that like their authenticity. There's a couple of people I've met who are like actively very performative and trying to put on this presentation of what they think is funny, but you are 100% you all the time.
I feel the same about you too. And I think that you are very brave, because I feel that allowing people to be into my world, there are places that I'm very comfortable that other people aren't comfortable. So it's easy for me, but I feel that you are really like open. You like totally allow people to totally see you, all of you. And I haven't got to that point yet.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Honestly, like sometimes I feel like insecure, because then I see other people like doing like very like observational humor, which like in the very first class I took with Paul was like, oh, we're going to focus on doing like individualized humor. Like, what's your story type of humor? Like, talk about yourself. And then so I kind of never really got the memo until halfway through this last class that we were in, that I was like, oh, we can like talk about whatever. We don't have to like still be talking about us. So like, I was like, that's why I was really struggling with this last set, where I was like reaching for like, I did 3 minutes on rehab, but otherwise I was like, I don't know. I can talk about the time I worked at a summer camp and kids are toxic. I can talk about like this other like aspects, but like, I'm like, I've done so much about me already. Like, I kind of want to talk about like movie and TV takes that I think are funny, that like I have, like the Harry Potter one that I have about how like it's ridiculous that no one got lice in that school. But like I feel like
sharing the hat,
but like everyone's been doing observational stuff, and I felt like not that I got left behind, but that I didn't allow myself to try these new types of things. So I am gonna try to work on that type of observational stuff. But like I do think like it was important for me to like learn how to be vulnerable on stage first, like just like rip everything apart and just like be there and like hope that it's funny. But if it's not,
I think
you're
that's
just kind
way
of like
better. I like it's
exposing
way
your
better than
vulnerabilities.
observational humor. At least I get to know who you are, number one. And
I want to have both in my sets moving forward because I really think that like it's important to like, because I think it's important to know who I am, but also like once you get to know who I am, you can also kind of understand the way I observe the world. So if like I have this really hot take on Pop-Tarts, not to go full Jerry Seinfeld, but like if I have this specific take on Pop-Tarts, it's because you learn about who I am up front. And that's like something that Paul and Heidi and Casey and Maxie and all the different mentors, Sean, and like of course
how
like
many
my
do you
classmates.
have?
What?
You got like 100 of them. How many
These
do
are
you
all
have?
the people that like I see as comedy mentors in
Gotcha.
of course you're a comedy mentor, but like we met
You're way better
at the
than me,
level,
bro.
whereas these people were like instructors or like running the open mic, so I see them as like more of a like only as mentors. And like I don't know, I feel weird if I was like, Heidi, are we friends? And what if she said no?
Well, we are friends though, right? We're friends of Heidi's, right?
Yeah, I would like to think so. Like Heidi like adores us, but also it's like I don't know, what's the student-teacher relationship like as an adult?
But she's no longer our teacher.
True, but she could be our teacher again.
No, she's only gonna do level 2.
Oh, I still have a level 2. Like, it's just so people are clear, Flappers, their math system is a little wonky because they go from 1 to 2 to 2 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, and she told me that I never know, she might one day do level 3 or level 4. So
I would do level 3 with Heidi in a minute. Like at this point, because we have a relationship with her, we're open, being vulnerable with her. This is just a Heidi Stan account podcast.
I love her, but also I fear that I'm getting coddled a little bit because that's not the real world. I do appreciate it, I do need it, but I feel like when I go out there, I'm gonna be so like being loved and supported, and then I get these people that are gonna be disrespectful. I'm not even gonna know how to handle myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just like the vibes that like that. It's just such a community that she builds, and like I thought the same thing of my level 1 that Paul was instructing. I feel like it's just like I haven't had the guy that you have, but like I
don't even remember his name right now. I'm sorry, instructor. I'm sorry I don't remember your name.
But like it's such a welcoming community, and like that's like something that I think you're very good at is like collaborative and community-based stuff. You're always like you're such a homie. That's like your character. You're always uplifting, supportive. Like even when we were giving feedback, I remember that you would always make a point to like highlight your favorite thing about someone's set, and then like try to punch up a couple jokes, and then like ending it with a compliment. Like the compliment sandwich is like a basic thing, but you would like not just make it a sandwich. You would make it a double-decker like burger.
You know what? I don't. First of all, I started thinking that when you guys always say that, I'm thinking that it's not me. Maybe that we just need more people to be like that. But I see there's God in everyone. You know what I mean? And all these people that are sent to you, they're sent to you on your journey for a reason, and everyone has something for you to learn from. So I need to treat you how I want to be treated, and I want to be treated like a king. So I want to treat you like a king.
Thank you, Lonnie. Do you have other types of media that we haven't discussed, whether it's like books, literature, games, like any other types of things that we haven't discussed that like really shaped your personality and individuality?
I'm a fashion
and then who are your
designer.
inspirations, like in terms of like
we didn't even talk about
music
that.
and comedy and acting? Who are your inspirations?
I'm a fashion designer, and like you said earlier, I usually have the Lonnie Dangerous clothes on. I have a shirt for you.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
It's right there. I have it right here. Next time I see you, I'm gonna give it to you.
Perfect.
And I have one for Heidi too. But I'm a fashion designer. I love fashion, and my people that I looked up to. This sounds funny. For comedy, Whoopi Goldberg and Eddie Murphy.
Love them.
For acting, I love Tom Cruise and Denzel Washington. And for music, I love Tupac, and I love who else is like me? Oh, James Brown. James Brown is one of the greatest of all time. So, and everybody in between. I love Felipe. You know, this is my journey, my dreams, and then I had all this vision of how it was gonna be, but then now that I'm walking it, so many other great people have come into my life. Felipe, I told you from day one that we're gonna be friends forever. You know what I mean?
I forget what you look like and like try to big time you like Heidi did. Lonnie came to
I know
class
you
and was
will. I
like,
know you will, but
we've worked together
I'll
before.
front on you. We got you on video, so me and you we've been kicking it
Yeah.
for a long time. So you try to big league me, I'll pull this out right here. Everyone's seen you. You know what I mean? Wasn't that humiliating? And it's meeting all these people. That is like the greatest influence. Like to me, Dahlia, you, and Heidi, because I had been through like 3 or 4 comedy classes and I really liked them. But when I got around the 3 of you, you reshaped my ideas on comedy, on how life can be, and gave me aware of a lot of my own blind spots. And I think that we all should work on like fixing our blind spots, making it a good place for everyone. Just like you said, we should all make it diverse and make spaces for everyone and spread love. So that's me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm excited to like talk to Dahlia about their experiences in the comedy scene, because I also feel like Dahlia being authentically themselves, you two specifically have like really allowed me to like go for swings that didn't always work in comedy spaces, but like try things and try to be like authentic to myself and my experiences, and like allow myself to be the quirky little weirdo that I am.
Yeah, the sexy hippopotamus, you said.
The sexy hippopotamus, like Moto Moto from Madagascar 2. That's how I identify when people ask me what race I am.
And you are sexy. They try to play you out. Everything about you just drips sexy. You know what I mean?
You need to take me shopping though, because I don't know how to dress myself completely. Like I mean, I know the action of how to dress myself, but like I don't know what works on me yet. And we're gonna find that.
But I think that you're fine the way you are. I love how you do your flip flops. It always shows them, you know, I'm a lounger. You know what I mean? I'm here to chill.
Yeah, it's also because I don't like wearing shoes.
That's hot.
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Brazil? Have you ever been to Brazil?
No, I've been to Brazil a lot though. Like it's like I've spent a lot of time there. I've probably spent like enough time that would hit a full year of living there, like with every single day, but like not consecutive, of course. But it's
that's
also
where you
like
need to take me. That's where it's Carnival. That's where you needed to go. You know what I mean?
Let's go.
Yeah, then let's dress like them. Let's get the whole bodysuit and the feathers, and then we can just like dress like this. You know what I mean?
Love it. We should do a comedy tour.
I'm down.
Yeah. Where does Lonnie Dangerous want to travel with his music, comedy, acting journey? Like, where are some places that you hope it takes him?
Egypt.
Yeah.
You
want to recreate the Prince of Egypt?
That would be so hype. I did 23andMe, and it said that I am a descendant of King Ramsey. But I checked out King Ramsey. He had 300 wives and 400 concubines. So I was probably one of the concubines babies. You know what I mean? Like one of his side chicks kids.
Love it. Now, but you were like King Ramsey's, because you had your main girlfriend, and then your ex was chasing you around the Burger King.
I think she just tweeted me that she gives up. It's been a year and a half of her calling me 5 times every single day and texting me and leaving things on Twitter, threatening all my other girlfriends. But I think yesterday she said, I had enough.
Well, Lonnie had this great joke that's like his girlfriend is obsessed with the fact that his ex is obsessed with him. And they're going through the drive-thru, and it's like, oh, we'll take like 2 combos and a milkshake for the girl in the bushes.
It's true, though. It's true.
Lonnie, is there anything left unsaid that you want to get off your chest? Anything you want to share before we get to the plugs and promotions? Any other ways that like media has shaped you and like your story like so far and where you want to go?
I want to talk about this. I would like to see, what's a hard thing that in Hollywood, I had a dream of playing the leading man. And in Hollywood, I've realized that a lot of these writers don't write for Black men being leading men. It's okay for the Black man to be the sidekick, the cool dude who smokes weed, the cool dude who pimps. I would like to see more, and not just Black men, Asian men, Indian men, indigenous men, just men of color who are leading men, not getting slapped around, punked out. I would like to see that. And hopefully some of you guys could write something like that for some people. I mean, even gay men. That would be nice if we had strong gay superheroes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like just more opportunity. Also, like I don't know. My soapbox is that like they don't all have to be like with six packs and ripped and super muscular. Like let there be chubby
Burly
superheroes.
man. Yeah,
Yeah,
burly man. Yeah, I like that.
like they can still be super strong, but also like have a dad bod or a beer belly. Like let them.
I would like to see that. I would like to see that. Would he
There's like
still be in shape? Would he still be in shape? I mean,
he
like,
would
can
be
he
like
still
in
fight?
shape, but like he would be chubby still. Like just because like fat man can run too. Hey, you
Agreed.
see
Agreed.
football
And there's
players?
some that are really athletic, so that
Yeah,
doesn't.
football
There's no
players are like
reason.
jacked but they're also like chubby.
Agreed. You got a good point there. And a muscle man, the strongest men in the world, they're usually like big dudes. They're not like ripped muscle. They have
Mhm.
like bellies, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
I agree with that. That's a good
Lonnie,
idea.
where can people keep up with you? Where can they follow your comedy and music journey? Where can they check out your stuff? And tell the people where they can keep up with Lonnie Dangerous.
Ooh, I'm Lonnie Dangerous on everything on YouTube, Instagram, Lonnie Dangerous on Facebook, TikTok, Spotify, YouTube. I have an album out. I have Ambitions of a Writer 1, 2, 3, and I'm about to do an EP called. This is the first time I never told anyone this. This is a secret, but the EP
Exclusive.
is called Lonnie Dangerous, the Sex Tape. Because everyone has a
Ooh.
sex tape. Now I've got one. That's between me and you. But I got a single coming out right now. Don't Play Me. It should be in next month. I want to do
Love
a
it.
video. If you want to get in the video with me,
I'll
Felipe,
be in the
you're
music video.
always
I've never been
welcome.
in a music video before. I would love
But
to be in the
that's
music
what's
video.
gonna happen the next time. You're in this new next video.
Can I audition for the lead role? Or like the second lead role that isn't you?
Oh, I didn't even think about it. You could be the lead instead of me.
No, but if it's a story about a black man, I don't feel comfortable being a black man in a music video.
Let's say we paint your face black
No,
and we give
absolutely
you
not.
a rainbow wig, an afro rainbow wig. How
No,
about
Lonnie,
that?
you can be the star of that. You could get Darius if you need, but not me. I'm not going to be doing
No,
blackface.
no. I was thinking, no, we'll have you play you, but I
Okay.
never thought maybe you could be the star of the video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I just narrate in the background, but the story's about you.
We'll
We'll run
talk it
over.
offline.
Yeah,
We'll figure
yeah.
it out the details, but I'm down to be in the music video in any capacity. All right. Lonnie Dangerous, follow him out on everything.
On
YouTube,
everything, Line Dangerous on
Instagram.
everything, and
Yeah.
follow what I know you already follow what the Fleet, but follow Fleet 2 times, and then go out and find a friend and tell them to follow Felipe too, because this dude is rocking. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it, Lonnie. Also, you can check out the Brazilian Dragon on all social media at Brazil Dragon Pod. Thank you to Freddy Luna for our new logo. Go follow his stuff
I
on
like it.
etsy.shop/StuckOnYouCartoons. He got us a brand new sexy little Brazilian Dragon logo.
Yeah.
Lonnie Dangerous. It's always a pleasure, my friend. And I cannot wait till we hang out in person, hit up some open mics. And
Yeah.
it's been great, my dude.
Likewise. Hey, we're going. Hit me up after this Baltimore. We should all just hang out. Period.
Yeah, my birthday's coming up. We're gonna.
When is it?
July 27th.
We're gonna go do something.
For sure. All right. Peace out, Lonnie.
Peace out. Have a great day.